This particular one I love, and the new framed acrylic has been getting a ton of attention around the industry. Every time that we show this product, people are loving it. So as you are looking at the details of this, when Robert starts discussing that, keep in mind you can get that frame in either white or black. It's an acrylic piece, it's very contemporary, very clean. If you haven't seen this product before, make sure and check it out. Now this one in particular, when we're looking at the style of this, we have a 30 by 40 in the center, and then we have flanked by two 12-18s and two 11 by 14s. So this is getting to be a larger grouping. So as you're stepping up, I think you want to be able to hit all of those price points. The display value and the presence of this is fantastic. The markup is wonderful on it. Plus, this is a product that will sell itself if you put it into your space. So Robert, let's talk about the details of this.
So yeah, let's take a nice close-up of this, the framed acrylics. And so I'm holding up one here because they're all gonna look the same, right, in that regard. So they'll look the same on the wall. The white or black, as Matt mentioned. The framed acrylic is going to stand off of the frame a little bit here, which is a really unique presentation.
It's beautiful.
I like this. I haven't seen myself anything else like this. So if I go sideways, can we get in on that bad boy? So you see that's gonna stand off about 1/8 of an inch or so from that frame, this framed acrylic. And it's normal framing in the backing, right? It's gonna be paper back, it's gonna have the wire hanger and things like that. So that is what this piece looks like. It's gonna be about 1.5 inches off the wall, this particular frame.
Yeah, for sure. So as you are selling and merchandising and working with clients, you always want to have high-end options. This happens to be the second one from the top of what we're talking about today, but honestly, sky's the limit when it comes to wall decor and wall groupings. One thing that I hear repeatedly when I'm talking to photographers is they put themselves into the position of their clients during sales. You don't want to do that. Just because you may not feel like you could or would invest $3,000 or $4,000 or $10,000 into a wall grouping does not mean the person sitting in your chair will not. That's a critical error to make. But that's a whole different conversation.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah,
but a really great point, I think, that when you create your own objections, essentially, in your head, and I think it kind of speaks to then, like, what is the value of my art, right? And how can I charge this much? Right. But that's because you don't want to put the set that a client may have, if you've chosen your clients well, and choosing your clients is a thing. If you've chosen them well, that's not going to be an issue. It isn't about cost. It's about what am I creating here, and then not having that, the resistance doesn't actually apply, really, in a real sense there.
And you have to have the options of price, size, style, product, all the things, because it's hard to sit, in a sales session and say, oh, the printer that I use has this awesome new framed acrylic. It's really neat. It sits in and without having that product there to show, it's going to be hard to get that person to be like, ooh, I'm excited about that. Can I see one? Well, I don't have one here. And think of how easy that would be if you had the grouping up on your wall and said, yes, right there.
I want that.
I want that. Yep, exactly. So if we're going to talk about pricing, so cost of goods on this particular grouping, so this set of 5, is going to run you $1,082. So your 30 by 40 is $518. Each of the 12 by 18s is going to be $156. Each of the 11 by 14s is going to be $126. My recommendation of markup on number 3 grouping, this 5-piece, is going to run from $29.95 to $34.95. All right, and again, this is from researching clients of ours across the country, and this is hitting in the sweet spot for that. Again, not a massive amount of money, not a massive size collage that you're going to have 10 feet of wall space to put up. Just a really nice, approachable, brand new product, something exciting to offer your clients going into the holiday season. So,
Matt, let me ask you a question. And yes. I'm going to have a follow-up question after that. As we start to get into maybe the higher price points, and it gets to intimidate some people. Yep. When it comes time to present the cost and how do you want to handle it, what's an example of what you might say?
I can tell you exactly what I would say. So, Robert, I have absolutely loved working with your family. I'm so excited to see these on your walls. Tonight, what we've done is we've selected your wall grouping. That's going to be the 30 by 40, two 12 by 18s, and two 11 by 14s. You had listed off 12 people that you needed gift portraits for, so we went ahead and we selected a frame print for your gifts for the holidays. You're going to need 75 holiday cards, and you decided to add on 3 mini books for stocking stuffers. Does that sound like what we've covered tonight?
That sounds like it, exactly.
Okay, perfect. So I've added all that together, and it looks like your total tonight is going to be $7,486.19. Would you like to pay that in full, or do you want to pay half down?
Let me ask you a follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
By a count of the number of words, how many words do you say after you say that?
0.
0 words.
0 words. And you know, this sounds a little bit blunt, but how does that saying go? The next person that talks loses? Okay, so I've always said during sales discussions and coaching, if I give you that number and you go, whew, I wasn't planning on that, and if I say, oh, you know what, I really want you to have this, I'm going to give you 20% off. You know what I just did? I took $1,400 out of my pocket and I lit it on fire. And you're obviously going to be like, oh, wonderful, I appreciate that, thanks.
Yeah.
Yep. Wrong message. If I sit silently, you have to sit with that decision for a minute and you have to think about it. And you're going to do one of 2 things. Well, one of 3 things, let's say. First one is going to be, you know what, I'll just pay it in full. Here's my card. Okay? Something that most photographers don't realize is if Robert hands me his credit card and says, I just want to go ahead and pay the whole thing off, I've left money on the table. There was room. And it was my fault for not getting that space.
Because that was, yes, here, of course.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Yep. You didn't even have to think about it. No problem. That's actually less than I was thinking. Crap.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a little bit more than I was thinking, but you know, just to spread it out, I probably want to hide the invoice from my spouse. Let's do half down. Okay, no problem. Okay, so that way you know that you were close. The next one, and ironically, this is the one that'll tell you if you've hit the ceiling, is, you know what, I might need to take something off because I think that's a little bit more than what I can do. If that happens, don't go into panic mode. Don't start offering discounts. Don't start throwing things at the order because that is just sending the wrong message. And unfortunately, that's what happens. People get nervous. They start doing that right away. Let Robert have the option of doing that. You will be the good person, the non-pressure person, and maybe even have a suggestion. Like if you said back to me, whew, that's a little bit more than I thought, I could say back to you, you know what, Robert, when you listed out those 10 people that you needed your gift prints for, we framed all of them. You know, maybe if there's some secondary ones, maybe if we could just do the print itself for them and let them find their own frame, I could save you about $300. And more than likely, just that one little thing, you're going to be like, okay, yep, I feel better about that. So if somebody does push back on you, it doesn't mean that they want to cut the order in half or they want to take it down, 75%. Have something ready. Be prepared for those answers. And the more you do it, the more you will learn how to close the sale.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out White House Custom Color on YouTube. Check out for the information below, and also don't forget to smash that subscribe button.